We just saw at the rostrum also one revolutionary elder, Mr. Bo Yibo, who was a former vice premier, and he's one of the so-called 8
welcome the visiting inspecting officer, and then we'll invite him to inspect the parade, and that's what that exchange would have been about. Of course, with such a large contingency, this mobile method of inspecting is the easiest, but still a great honor for those soldiers on parade to have the leader drive past. Here you see the contingency, naval rating on the left, army in the middle, and Air Force to his right in the light blue, symbolizing the unified nature of the PLA.
Well, Jiang was saying, how are you, comrades? You've done a good job, that's what he said.
That's the same thing Deng Xiaoping said in 1984.
Yeah, pretty much. It's very interesting to see whether there will be any slogans which would be chosen as a response to Jiang Zemin's statements. For example, in '84, the slogan for Deng Xiaoping was "How are you?" and "You have done a good job." That was meant as a spontaneous show of support for Deng Xiaoping.
Mm-hmm. But this time they're just repeating what Jiang is saying.
Pretty much. I think Jiang's handlers are sticking to a safe course. I think they just want to repeat pretty much some of the ceremonies of the '84 celebrations.
Oh, we see some of the tanks.
Yes, so these are the new MBT-90 main battle tanks. We'll get a closer look at those when the parade starts. But we're seeing a regiment there of battle tanks.
Well, President Jiang seems to be in reasonably high spirits. He's, of course, 73, and for a man of his age, he's in very good health. He must have, I think, stayed up quite late yesterday, polishing his speech, as well as attending to the thousands of guests, especially flown in from different parts of China, Hong Kong, and foreign countries.
Do you expect him to say something significant in the speech now, or do you think he'll save the best tidbits for tonight's speech?
Well, analysts in Beijing do not anticipate a long speech. However, I think he will sum up this morning the achievements of the country in the past 50 years, certainly in the economic as well as the defense modernization.
Multiple rocket launchers there on the left and anti-aircraft guns. These soldiers here are carrying the new assault rifle. That's quite interesting because it was only the Hong Kong troops that were given those initially, and it now looks like they've been much more widely issued. 5.8 millimeter. The trigger is at the middle of the weapon rather than at the end, so that's how you can tell. More rocket launch systems at the back of the troops. We'll get a closer look at those, I suspect, later.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the Hong Kong garrison of the PLA. Yes. They will be having a performance of their own in Hong Kong this afternoon at around 6.
At the Hong Kong Stadium, yes.
Right. That'll be the first time the public will get a chance to see them outside of their barracks. Will you be having a look?
I'm fortunate enough to have a ticket, and I'm looking forward to that as well.
And what are those trucks?
Again, anti-aircraft systems. The white tires, somebody will have been painting those. These are the latest generation of missile, surface-to-air missiles.
worries is that all these weapons are made by China, but there are some reports that some technology may have been imported one way or the other from the United States. For example, Jane's Defense Weekly said that some Patriot technology was imported. Do you think that is so, or generally with the weapons?
In terms of the weapons that we'll see today, they are from 3 different sources. Some will have been a generation, a next generation of older weapons which have been developed from original weapons that were perhaps purchased from the Soviets. Some will be using technology that has been begged, borrowed, or spied on from the Western countries, and others will have been technology that's been developed within China itself. China has, over the recent years, developed a vast arms industry, and a lot of the weapons you see today will have been designed, tested, and made within China.
Yes, certainly we have seen a leap forward, particularly with the missile forces. And Jiang Zemin himself has been particularly pleased with the progress in missile technology. In official propaganda,
咁雖然咧，即係各個兵種咧就未正式咧，即係分別啦，即係列隊啊過呢個天安門嘅城樓啊，就即係到時會睇得清楚啲啦。但係而家咧，頭先跟翻江澤民嘅車隊咁樣咧，睇到沿途都睇到已經唔少武備咧係展出咗。咁阿黃東先生，你睇到有啲咩特別之處咧？
基本佢展出嚟嘅閱兵嘅嘢咧，呢度已經全部齊全晒㗎啦。咁咧，從15年前比較技術跨度啦，有1代到2代嘅進步。好多嚟講已經達到呢個世界先進水平，或者係接近呢個世界先進水平。
譬如有啲乜嘢咧？你見到即係已經係
呢度展出嘅都係以陸軍為主啦，就有少量嘅海空軍咁同埋二炮部隊，咁包括呢個裝甲兵器炮兵武器，呢個第2炮兵嘅呢個彈道導彈啦，嗰個防。
War, as we said earlier, had a profound effect on the development of the PLA, and it really was the catalyst for vast change, because China realized that, having viewed the way that Iraq was so easily brought to surrender, that the importance of high technology in winning a war and in fighting a defensive war. And the importance of command, control, communications, the importance of satellite technology, the importance of surveillance, and the ability to destroy an enemy who is using these systems against you. So that's another reason why Chinese satellite activities have increased dramatically over the last few years.
So we see behind Jiang the new array of missiles. Most of them, it seems, we have seen in rehearsals along
yes.
in Tiananmen Square, along Chang'an Dajie in the past month or 2.
Yes, the equipment that we can see at the background at the minute are all various types of surface-to-air missiles, displaying that China now has a comprehensive armory of missile systems which can take out high-level aircraft and incoming missiles from attacking countries, similar to the US Patriot system, which we saw during the Iraqi war when they were bombing Israel.
There will also be a flypast of some of China's most advanced jets, like the Flying Leopard.
Yes.
But I wanted to mention that in 1984 there was also a flypast, but nobody could see it because of the smog. But this time they cleaned up the smog. How did they do that?
Well, actually, they have issued draconian orders. The heavy industry factories in Beijing have been.
冇見到有薄油焊貼。
已經改良緊，但佢相當大嘅一部分都冇攞出嚟嘅，其實
數量可能唔夠。呢個
主要係裝備咗呢個重點集團軍先，一般嘅次1級嘅偽裝備。而家呢啲有801型。
啲女兵有着紅衫咁啊嚇？
呢啲係民兵預備部隊嚟嘅。
海軍陸戰隊冇見到，
仲未見到。佢哋着嘅呢個係海洋迷彩，所以好容易分到。但係佢響右邊呢堆就係啦，藍色右上角冇錯，
就海軍陸戰隊。
咁你有冇見到水陸兩棲坦克或者係運兵車咧？
仲未出嚟。佢響呢次嘅國慶50週年成就展上面有一個模型，就係呢個新型嘅水陸兩棲坦克。
如果要攻打台灣，水陸兩棲坦克同埋運兵車係好主要嘅武器，係冇錯。所以呢次如果見到佢展出嘅話，應該好有意義。
Retire from his most important.
Further undermined by the tensions in U.S.-China relations. But by and large, the leadership is relatively cohesive. And one of the interesting points to bear in mind, really one of the great achievements of Deng Xiaoping, and it's something that Jiang Zemin has followed, is that Deng neutralized the degree to which high-level politics in China was a life and death affair. When people get removed from high office now, they don't get locked up usually, and they're not sent to labor camps, they're not shot. They're just shunted aside, but often allowed to retain some degree of public activity. It's a much more normal kind of political culture compared to what it was under Mao. Deng moved the country in that direction. Jiang has continued, so that even if there are splits, it doesn't mean that it's a kind of life and death struggle for the leadership over the basic direction of China, and therefore, even if power struggles and splits do break out, it's not necessarily as destabilizing for the regime or the system as it would have been in earlier times. Karuna?
The cars are about to enter the main entrance, the Gate of Heavenly Peace, and the officials will soon be making their speeches. But before that, Mike, tell us a little bit about President Jiang, sort of the personal stories about what kind of man he is.
Jiang Zemin is quite different from any other leader that modern China has had. The American president in a 90-minute debate live on television which covered such controversial issues as Tibet, the crackdown on Tiananmen Square, human rights, an unprecedented thing for a Chinese leader to do. So Jiang, more than his predecessors, understands issues of media, of spin control, of image. Still, he's quite an orthodox figure from a Communist Party background, but he is blazing a path rather different than the communist leaders who came before him. Bruna?
What you're seeing on the ground there, we're seeing pictures of amazing uniformity among the troops and the people that are standing there in the festivities.
Yes, there has been an attempt to make this look as precise and uniform and symmetrical as possible, even to the point that when the People's Liberation Army began training and rehearsing for this parade months ago, people were judged on the basis of their height.
Who fought in the various warfares this century, I think starting from the Second World War.
咁啊，講翻啦，江澤民頭先咧係好強調就係佢堅持和平統一、一國兩制嘅方針啦。咁喺實現香港同埋澳門順利回歸之後咧，最終
would this appeal to
咧就係中華民族嘅復興嘅根本基礎，亦都係啦，全體中國人民唔可以動。
So it seems to have held up so far.